Yeah, everybody, here I am again, yes, sir. So, as I left you last time, I didn't talk much about my rat rod project because I haven't done much and I still didn't touch it since last video. And what I have done, as you see here, about new, brand new, this time, gas tank for my Kawasaki VN800 Vulcan custom. And name it the way you want. I searched on eBay for peanut tanks, chopper tanks, and I got that one. I like it. It's better to me, to my eyes, my taste. It's much better than that Sportster tank that everyone had. And as I mentioned in a previous video, that I want this bike to look like the New York style by Indian Larry, but I don't know. The other tanks that looks like his are a bit more expensive. I think if you cut this one in the middle and make it wider, it will look the same, but I like it that way. I kind of like it that way, I'm gonna try to move with that a bit smaller ape hanger, the smaller tank. The seat, I'm not gonna keep it, but maybe I will, I don't know. And that fender, I gonna chop and cut and kind of fit together, good together to me, I like it. And yeah, I did something else. I'm just moving the water thermostat here. It was just sitting under the tank, the original tank. I just changed the tubes. I switched them, the rear one on the front and the front one on the rear. I cut a little bit from this one here. You can see the longer one, this one, because it is hard to keep it this position, straight as it was in the original position. So I have to improvise some kind of mount without making some huge brackets here and stuff, just to make it stay. And this way I think it stays somehow. So this is the way I'm gonna keep it, I think, somehow. On the other side will be the speedometer, I think. I wanted hardly to put it here, but the speedometer cable is pretty short, And what I did more is here. So I still have to mount that fender. I love to cut those fender mounts, and put that thick whole fork part here in the lathe and make it look clean, or maybe grind it just, but I leave it without fender. First thing is that here in Europe, or in Germany, in Europe, there is now law that make it illegal to run a motorcycle without fenders, but in local laws here in Germany, it is illegal, so you need to have a front fender. Maybe if you don't have one with you mounted on the motorcycle, you have to carry one with you when the cops stops you because you don't have one, so you can screw it, and you can maybe, after paying some tickets, how to call them, so you can still move. But I don't want any trouble, so I'm gonna use this Night Train Softail Harley Davidson fender. The mounts I have to modify them to make it lower, and I'm gonna shorten it a little bit and make it German legal maybe. The whole bike will be painted black, glossy black. I hate that matte black. Maybe if it will work better or fit better on the combination I want to do, I will use it. And everything will be black but the tank. I will make it pretty colored, like many examples that I don't have here in my pictures hanging around. But it's not a problem. I will give it as a surprise. Yeah, one thing else I did, here is the speedometer as I mentioned. it will stay somewhere, turn it and mount it out there. I use the Harley-Davidson aftermarket throttle gear, how to call it here, you know. I still use the damage from accident cable, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna wrap it somehow and keep it. It has originally two, one return to, and it is this one. So I will shorten it somehow, and I will solder this piece on the end of it, and I will make a spring, some kind of a spring. Oops, from here. Kind of spring that's between both of those, because you have to pull it against it. That allows, when you leave the throttle, it turns back to the front. This way it won't turn, so it still can turn it back, and you don't want that to have. Maybe when the motor is running or the engine is running, you still the carburetor will pull back the throttle cable from on its own, like the old engine, that one that I used to have on the hot rod. You can pull the throttle the way you want, but when the engine is running, everything reacts differently. Maybe it is the same way here, but I'm going to make something, shorten it. I don't want it to be too long. It's totally broken here after the accident. The motorcycle slided on the right side. And yeah, so I will rewrap the pulling throttle cable. The other one will shorten it and put that spring system to make it pull back. I still have to organize something here for the air cleaner box that was under the tank. Maybe some modifications on stuff. Yeah. And yeah, as I said, this is the Harley-Davidson throttle gear that I adapted. I didn't adapt it, I adapted the cable here. So I had to cut it, and I would love to have made a video about how I did it, because it was pretty interesting process how to solder it inside. It's aluminium, so I had to fill the holes to make holes where it fits, and another hole from the side. Is pretty complicated to explain right now, so I have, maybe when I make this one I will shoot it on camera and put it on YouTube. So it was interesting how I had to fill it with a wire, copper wire from normal electricity cable, but pretty thinner ones. And now if I have some left somewhere here, I used them in a previous project. They are for, yeah, this one is pretty thin here. Now if the camera, the smart camera will focus on that, yeah, it's pretty thin. And then to allow me to solder on it, and it was pretty hard. I was trying to break it with a plier, using a plier, and I didn't got it, so I really soldered it the way it should be, and it's inside. I have throttle right now. It's pretty cool. Yeah, now I have to what I want to do, I don't want to reuse the old controls here, so I want to make something that looks a bit the old school ones from the old Harley, Indian, etc. They are not my taste, you know. Those, I have already one here. It's from an old German motorcycle manufacturer. This is for the turn signals, you know, but I don't like that style. I want to make something myself, maybe later. And I don't want them to be all of them here on the handlebars. I want it to be more something like what you see right now. So, for example, the kill switch, I will remove it. I will replace the starter button with another key, like a car, you know, you can start from the key. And the lights, I will put them somewhere here on the box that will be under here for the battery and cables and all that. salad that you can see out there. The turn signals will stay here, and the horn will stay here, somewhere here and there. And one more little one, just push button for the how to call it, to come on, I don't find it, low beam and high beam lights. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff to do, and just wanted to show my presence, make a short video on what I am doing right now. The tank's still not mounted. Maybe I will make it a bit higher from the front here. Still not sure what I'm doing on it, but it's just with those plastic things here mounted, and clamps, or how to call them. Yo, pretty excited. But this weekend I will work on the motorcycle. Tomorrow I have a motorcycle ride, and maybe Sunday a little bit. Next week I have a plan for the hot rod. Maybe I will do something on the hot rod. Still not sure. Yeah. So here we are. You heard from me again, and I wish you a very nice weekend, and see you next time.